The sun had barely risen, and some neighbors were still asleep when Nnenna heard her husband's voice again. "Did you boil enough water?" Obi said loudly. "Why are you always slow in the morning?" Nnenna kept folding the children's uniforms quietly. "Yes, I did," she answered softly. As if that wasn't enough, he turned to their children and erupted like a volcano. "Children, don't ever grow up and become dull like your mother. Be smart." The children looked down in embarrassment. Nnenna's heart cracked quietly, but she didn't speak. Little Chisom whispered to her mother, "Mommy, sorry." Nnenna smiled weakly and rubbed her daughter's head. "I'm fine, my baby." But she wasn't fine, because deep down in her heart, something was dying slowly. This was the story of Nnenna, a woman who was warm, polite and patient. She was educated, articulate, but never boastful. She was slender, dressed modestly, but beautifully. She had a natural glow, even without a makeup. She looked like a woman who had weathered storms gracefully. She was the kind of mother that protects her children fiercely, and also the type of wife who could endure many things. She saw everything even when she kept quiet. Loyal, but not foolish. Strong, but soft. Patient, but not weak. She carried the emotional weight of the home. She loves deeply, but also knows how to detach when pushed too far. The part she never says out loud was her pain. She feels unappreciated, invincible, and unsupported. She cried quietly when no one was watching. She wondered how life would have been if she had married differently. With all manner of insults and humiliation she received from her husband, calmness was her weapon. Her husband, Obi, has a two-faced personality. At his place of work, he was charming and respected. He was quick to advise his colleagues, especially women. He was seen as a helper, mentor, problem solver, performing acts of support to outsiders to feel powerful. While at home, he withdrew emotionally. He uses silence as control. He rarely encouraged his wife. He kept score of every help he rendered in the house. He corrected his wife in front of the children. Whenever Obi got angry with Nnenna, he would say, "I will send you packing. I will marry another woman." And before Nnenna could say a word, Obi would pick up his phone. Sometimes it was his sister. "Hello, Ngozi. Talk to your brother's wife. She has started again." Sometimes his mother. "Mama, this woman will not kill me." Sometimes even Nnenna's own father and mother. "Your daughter is stressing me. Is this how you trained her?" Every time, the in-laws would pour insults on Nnenna, but nobody had ever asked her, "Nnenna, what really happened?" Because nobody cared to hear her own side of the story. One day, she told her friends, "Sometimes I feel invincible in this marriage." Her friend asked, "Why don't you talk back?" Nnenna smiled sadly. "If I talk, he will report me again. If I keep quiet, he will still report me." One evening, their son, 11-year-old David, misbehaved. Nnenna raised her voice a little. "David, don't do that." Before she could finish, Obi stormed into the room. "Don't touch my children. Don't raise your voice at them." "But I'm only correcting," Nnenna tried to explain. Obi cut her short. "If anybody will correct them, it is me. Do you hear me?" The boy stood there, confused and ashamed. Nnenna whispered. Okay, it's fine. That night, she cried quietly on her pillow. She didn't know her daughter was watching. Mommy, please don't cry, the child whispered. Mommy, we love you. Nnenna wiped her tears quickly. I know, my baby. One day, Obi started yelling at Nnenna over something irrelevant. He picked up his phone angrily. I will tell your Uncle Ike today. Let him warn you. Nnenna begged. Obi, please don't. But it was too late. He had already died and reported as usual. But Uncle Ike invited them to his home to understand what the problem was. Uncle Ike was a very strict and diplomatic man. He was Nnenna's father's younger brother. He was married and blessed with 6 beautiful daughters and a son. Among Nnenna's father's siblings, Uncle Ike loved her most because during her undergraduate days in the university, she always visited the village during weekends to stay with her father's mother. She took good care of her when she was around, and because of that act of humility, Uncle Ike loved her so much. 2 days after Obi reported Nnenna to her uncle, they both went to the uncle's house. When they got there, Uncle Ike welcomed them and asked them to sit down. Then, Obi talked first. He sounded loud and dramatic. Sir, I don't know what else to do with your niece, he shouted. I clean the house, I wash the toilets, I give her monthly allowance, I do everything. Yet, she still annoys me. He kept talking for almost 20 minutes. Nnenna sat quietly. As usual, the uncle didn't interrupt. He listened, breathing slowly. When Obi was done talking, then calmly, Uncle Ike asked questions while Obi responded. Obi, did she insult you? No. Did she fight you? No. Did she stop taking care of the children? No. Did she abandon her duties? No. The uncle leaned back and said, So what is your problem? Obi had no answer. The uncle waved his hand. Go outside. Let me talk to my daughter. Obi stepped out. The uncle turned to Nnenna. His voice changed. Deep, firm, and fatherly. Bia, Nnenna, is it true your husband washes your toilet? Nnenna nodded. Yes, uncle. Did you ask him to wash it? No, uncle. The uncle shook his head slowly, disappointed. How old are your children? 15, 13, 11, and 9, sir. He lifted his face and looked at her with seriousness. From today, he said, you and your children will clean your house yourselves. Share chores with your children. Let them learn responsibility. Let your husband see that you are not depending on him for house chores. He pointed his finger gently. And make sure you wash your own toilet with your children. Don't leave it for him again. Do you hear me? Nnenna nodded. Yes, uncle. The uncle continued. Your husband is reporting you because he wants to be in control, not because you are doing wrong. When you take responsibility for your home, he will adjust. Lastly, he said he always gives you a monthly allowance. Does it mean you are not working? Nnenna responded, Yes, uncle. What happened? Uncle Ike asked. Uncle, I resigned to take care of my children because my husband didn't allow any house help in the home. Uncle Ike continued, Your children are grown now, so you have to start applying for jobs, okay? It was because all this while you depended on him financially. The reason he had the guts to treat you in that manner. But uncle, could I still secure a job at this age? Uncle Ike looked at her with shock in his eyes. Age what? How old are you? Are you up to 70 years? Uncle Ike asked. Because I knew when your mother gave birth to you. Uncle, I'm in my early 40s, Nnenna muttered. You are still a small girl. Uncle Ike cut in. Are you aware that some of your age mates are not yet married? Nnenna became speechless and looked at her uncle like she was a statue. Uncle Ike continued, My friend, start throwing your CV. If you are consistent, you will get a job sooner than expected. Earn your money and stop allowing this man to mess you up. Then he called Obi back inside and asked Nnenna to go out. After Nnenna stepped out, Uncle Ike looked at Obi with a disappointed expression on his face. Obi, you should be ashamed of yourself. After how many years of marriage, and you treat your wife like a rag? You are reporting her because you want to be in control of her life. You are shouting because you want her to fear you, not respect. And let me tell you, you see Nnenna, she is the humblest among my nieces, and she is a very good woman. The day she gets tired, you will beg for her attention. Now, I want you to take your wife home and live peacefully with her. Lest I forget, your children are grown now and they can take care of themselves to an extent. Then, you must allow your wife to work. I hope I have made myself clear. You can go. What Uncle Ike told Obi that day changed something deep down in him. Obi looked truly shaken because he never expected this response from Uncle Ike. Someone had spoken truth into him, the truth he was afraid to hear. And that was the day everything quietly shifted. After Uncle Ike's words, something woke up inside Nnenna. It was as if someone finally switched on a light that had been dim for years. For the first time in a very long time, Nnenna felt understood. She felt seen. She felt valued. No one had ever spoken sense into Obi before. No one had ever defended her with truth and authority. And the confidence from her uncle's voice breathed something new into her. Courage. From that day, Nnenna stopped reacting emotionally. She did not argue. She did not cry loudly. She did not explain herself to someone who never listened. Instead, she became calm. And that calmness carried strength. It made her spirit stand tall and made her remember who she used to be before life dimmed her. She focused on her home, but she also focused on herself. She began job hunting quietly. She wanted to start a small business, but Obi had always resisted it. Not because she wasn't capable, but because he feared she would outshine him. And the allowance he gave her, it wasn't even enough to save from. It was only enough to survive. So Nnenna made up her mind. I will get a job. I will save my own money. And I will build a business of my own. And she did. Weeks later, she got a job. A good one. And Obi's heart shook like a generator with low fuel. For the first time, he became afraid. Afraid that she was rising. Afraid that another man might notice her strength. Afraid that she was no longer depending on him to survive. But Nnenna didn't mind. Every morning she woke up early. She kept her home in order. She prepared the children before school. She went to work with grace. She returned from work and continued where she stopped. Nnenna was no longer begging for help, no longer waiting for approval, and she was no longer tolerating disrespect. Her calmness became a cloak of dignity. Her silence became a boundary. Her growth became her strength. And Obi noticed. The more she blossomed, the more uneasy he became. He said things like, so you don't need anybody again. You are now forming independent woman. You don't even look for me like before. Nnenna just smiled and kept moving. 10 years passed, and Nnenna had become a woman of substance. She started an importation business in fabrics, and it boomed. Others came from everywhere. Her brand grew. Her confidence matured. Her finances expanded. She was no longer the woman waiting for a monthly allowance. She was no longer the woman shrinking to make a man comfortable. She was no longer the woman crying quietly into her pillow. She had evolved. Even though she still respected Obi and gave him his due as a husband, she no longer absorbed any of his shenanigans. The children were now grown, pursuing their dreams. It was just Nnenna and Obi left in the home, and reality humbled him because power had shifted. Not with noise, not with insult, not with threats, but with dignity. Obi had to adjust, by fire or by force, because if he misbehaved now, Oyo would just be his second name. That was when Obi finally understood. He did not lose Nnenna. He lost the version of her that tolerated his nonsense. And in her place, a new version emerged. A woman who finally understood her worth. At the end, quietly, steadily, and gracefully, Nnenna won. Dear friends, I hope you enjoyed this story the same way I did. Share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Please give this story a thumbs up, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so by now. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss another captivating story. Thank you for watching. And remember, every tale carries a lesson if only we choose to listen. Until I bring another true life tale your way, goodbye and remain blessed.